All right, we are back live with the Blame Girl podcast
Mr. Terry Wayne.
and we got the wonderful, the beautiful, the sweet Connie Fernandez back in the house. Thank you for joining
Hello.
us again, Connie.
Yes. Hi.
How you been?
Good. It's been a minute since I've been on the show. It's been a couple years.
I know. I was like, saw you on Friday, and I was like, I gotta
Yeah.
catch up with her on the podcast.
Yeah.
Um,
So thank you.
so what's been going on with your weekend? First of all, I saw you this weekend. How was your
Saw you
weekend?
this weekend. I saw you on Friday. We were both at Miss Abby Ballin's pop off open mic, which is super
Mm.
fun. It's
It's
like all
grown.
open mic.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I said that that's the best Kelly Brothers I've ever been to, right?
Yeah, because many different comedians have had Kelly Brothers as a venue for comedy, but I think she's made it like something. She's made it into more than just like a comedy show. It's like a full night of entertainment. It's fun.
And what Abby has is a following fan base. Like her fan base will come out to see her.
They will come out
I
to see.
heard people in the crowd, they were like, "We're here for you." I was like, "That's so awesome," you know?
Yeah.
So, did you get into any other comedy this weekend?
I wasn't doing other comedy, but I went to see other comedy. So I went to see Diane Jorge,
Oh,
our friend
yes.
in comedy. She does a one-person improv show called Solo Vela, where she does like she makes up an entire novella based on a conversation with one audience member she has there. She makes up an entire novella that she plays all the characters in the
On the
novella
spot.
on
That
the spot,
improv.
and
That
it's
improv.
oh
Yeah.
my god, it is hysterical. She brings props, an amount of props, an ungodly amount of props. It is so funny. It is so funny. She did a great job. It was
We
fun.
had her on a couple of weeks ago or months ago,
Oh,
and
cool.
I want to get her back on in her character. So we're gonna have to do that. I love when
Oh
people
my
do their
god, yeah.
characters.
In character, that'd be so funny. She does so many characters. It's so good.
All right, Terry Wayne, how was your weekend?
Everybody here is just getting ready for the polar vortex. That's all anybody's talking about.
Really?
Oh,
Uh,
I know. That's what my mom asked me, Connie, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You're from Texas, right?
it's
As
Yeah,
well?
yeah. He's in Tennessee now.
I'm
You're in
in Nashville. Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, it's basically just a big front of cold air came down from Canada. It's a thing that like buried the Midwest and all that. It is going to hit us tonight, tomorrow, and Tuesday. So there'll be snow. It'll get down to single digits mostly, and then I think Tuesday we hit negatives, but it's
Mhm.
only going to be for like 1 2 days. It'll only be till about Tuesday, and then we'll go back up to like 40s, like we normally are.
good old 40s.
Hey,
Ugh, it's
let
freezing
me
to me.
let me tell you something. When you get down in the teens and the single digits, you're like, please come back 40s.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You like get it?
single
Okay.
single digits is when it like hurts to be outside. Like it stings your
Yeah.
face. Yeah, it's not fun.
I
So,
don't understand when people live. Why? You also used to live down here. Why would you do this to yourself? Why?
well, I mean, I'm originally from Tennessee, and it's not as bad as you think. You just don't hang out outside often, but normally around here, it's just it's somewhere in between the 30s and the 50s. So it's really not bad. It's like sweater weather.
Ugh.
You
Wow.
know, but when it
Where-
when you do get occasional things like this, winter storms where the temperature gets real low down into the single digits or even the negatives, yeah, then it's not fun to be outside. But
You need like tunnels. You need like Minnesota has. Like
no, no, I'll tell you, here's what you do.
You hibernate is what you
No,
do.
you stay in your house, but when you have to leave to go somewhere, you go outside, you turn your engine on, you let it run for 5 or 6 minutes
Mhm.
with the heat on, and that way when you get in, your car's all defrosted, it's all nice and warm. So you're only out. I mean, my brother used to live in Alaska where it was like normal is 25 below, you know?
my God. So there's just like the dating must be completely different
Oh, in Alaska,
in
it's five.
anywhere cold like this because you can't really leave your house to like mingle and meet people.
It's funny that
Like,
you say
And
that
you
because
and you want
Alaska,
someone so that you can stay
and you
warm.
want someone to cuddle you to
yeah,
stay warm. Yeah.
Alaska is famously 5 to 1 men to women. So For every 5 dudes, there's one.
I know Connie, right?
Oh my
Connie
god.
said, what?
Yeah.
In
Oh, that's
Miami, it's
funny.
5 girls to every man, right? All
Mm.
right. My weekend was fun. I did, like we said, Kelly Brothers on Friday. That was a lot of fun. Tried some new jokes out that worked. And I was thinking about it and I was like, because I did a show last night. I guess it was really pretty much a mic, but I was like, should I try these new jokes? And I made myself not do them because they worked so well that first night. I was like, I want to polish it off first. I don't know if this is polished, you know? I don't want to be misled by that one crowd. Y'all know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, you gotta keep doing them, keep trying them out
Yeah.
for crowds.
And then last
Yeah.
night, go ahead, Terry.
I was gonna say I hate it when you go and you do new jokes and they just crush at one place, and then you try them at like 3 other places and they all just die a
Yeah,
sour death. And
And
then
then,
it's like, oh, I was so pumped. I thought these were gonna be great.
and honestly, so the room I did last night was a black room, an urban room, and I was like, I just didn't want to risk it. You know, I didn't want to risk it. So they're corny jokes, and you know, you can't be with them black rooms, you can't be telling them corny jokes unless it's like a church crowd. But anyway, so but it was a trap crowd. It was fun. They were like trap laughs or whatever. These
oh my
two
god, you have trap jokes?
trap.
I know you have trap jokes.
Yeah, I have a trap house joke.
That's
Well,
it.
not about a trap house per se, but I have a joke.
Oh, that's what I
That
meant. I was like, you got jokes about trap houses
I
specifically.
got a joke about trap and paint. Now they doing trap and comedy, so
All right.
but yeah, that was fun. And then here we are Sunday, and I will be in the house tonight. And I haven't decided about tomorrow, but I'll tell you about my shows coming up this week out of town.
Oh,
So
cool.
at the end, but yeah, that's how my weekend was. It was nice. I
Nice.
got to work both nights. So anyway, are y'all ready to do some blaming?
Yeah, let's be
Oh,
blamed. Got
about
my
time.
judging you shirt. I'm ready.
We we stay ready to blame, right?
Ready
To
to
be a
blame.
man. I don't know,
Ready,
but
ready
I
to
don't
blame.
know about it on this one. So Hasidic Jewish people in New York have built secret tunnels to their temple, guys. Who's
Yeah.
to blame?
I just put this story on there because I think it's hilarious. It's like
It is hilarious. That was what I wanted to say first, that this
this
is
is like
hilarious.
loony. It's like Looney Tune stuff.
Yeah, there's a whole rabbit hole to go down, like with this.
Yeah.
It's like
Literally.
a whole like
A literal hole to go down.
there was
Literal
like a
rabbit hole.
schism between the Hasidic Jewish people in New York. One of their leaders died, and many of them believed him to be the prophet, which he said he wasn't, but they did believe he was. And then when he died, the church split and sent these other Jewish people underground, right? And so that's how they get to their temples underground in that big temple. They're at the bottom. So um I, I don't know why they can't go through the main church.
It just reminds me, as soon as I first saw the story, I'm like, this doesn't look good for Israelis, just because in Israel and Palestine, the whole problem with finding Hamas is that they tunnel everywhere, and they can't find them because they're tunneling everywhere. And I'm like, is
They're
this
taking
like
a
is it a regional thing where everybody just tunnels?
is it a move out of Hamas's playbook?
Yes. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, I had originally thought that they had done that for during the pandemic. That made a lot of sense to me because a lot of the Hasidic Jews in New York, they said, we're going to temple regardless of what your mandates are.
Okay.
They were like, you're not going to impose on our religion, even though they said in New York you weren't allowed to gather. They were very upset about that. So that made sense to me, that they just would go to temple in secret.
Mm-hmm.
But no, apparently not the case.
It was going on. It's been going on longer than that, right?
Yeah, because of the schism that you mentioned. So.
I would say if the question is who's to blame, it's just religion in general, I'm gonna say, because
Yeah.
religion in general is just like, it's cults. Let's be real. That's how I feel. I don't
And
know.
they don't follow
all religion. All right, all religions is cults. All of them.
Yeah.
Pick one, any which one. They're all cults. Some are better to their followers than others. But all of them usually make, if you're really hard into it, if you're really hard into whatever cult you're into, you kind of lose it a little bit. So, like, you know, that's what I'm gonna go ahead and blame. They like took it upon themselves to like build into, they took like, from what I saw in video was that they took it upon themselves to take one of their rabbis, like what he said literally, like that they need to expand and grow the church, grow the synagogue as much as they can for more followers. And they took it literally and like tunneled out and made caves. And it's like, why would you, like, it's just followers of any cult, they just like, I feel like they go nuts and they feel like they got to do the most, they feel like they got to do the most, and it's like, no.
I can see
Well, I blame the NYPD
that.
because people in neighboring and adjoining buildings had made complaints over the past years to, one of them in particular was hilarious.
Of white supremacists, yeah.
No, just people who lived in neighboring buildings. They made complaints, including one that says, "I hear Jews below my house."
No, that's the white supremacist.
Well, oh, was he a white supremacist?
Yeah, and that's why people didn't believe him, because
but
they
he was a white. But there were
Connie.
Jews below his house.
Connie's like, what? Yeah.
I didn't hear about that part.
He runs around with like Nick Fuentes and all them guys, and yeah, and people didn't believe him because and now they're like, oh my God, he was not lying. He does have Jews below his house.
There you go. Sometimes you got to believe the white supremacists.
Yeah, I guess so.
Nobody clip that.
Yeah,
and take that out of context.
I'm gonna play that, and maybe we'll get a bigger following, right?
That's also like it's a problem because like they could be knocking out walls that are like holding up the fucking building, right?
That is a problem. In the YouTube that Terry sent, that's what they said. One of the buildings beneath, they were trying to fill the hole in. Yeah, are y'all dumb?
Like that's what I'm like.
You can't hollow out the ground below these big ass skyscrapers in New York. They're barely staying, you know.
Well, that's why I said this is like Looney Tune stuff. Like you can't.
And that's
something tells me
it's cultish, because leave it to a fucking cult to be like, oh, God will protect us.
That's what I mean, though. Like all religions are cults. Like they're just out of their minds, and the deeper in anything you get, the more out of your mind you get. And now they don't even care. They don't even care if they're knocking down the building, if they're knocking out walls that will collapse the building, like, and filling the rooms with the dirt. Because if they put it on the street, they would get in trouble. So you know what you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
What? They filled up a room with dirt?
Oh yeah, that's where they put in that video that they showed where they put all the dirt from excavating these tunnels.
Oh, okay.
They put them into like old bathhouses, like rooms that had been like not in use for a while. They just filled it up with dirt, and when they said why,
they wouldn't be discovered that they had done that.
Yeah, and it's like, well, then you know that this is fucked. You know that you shouldn't be. I curse a lot. Sorry, you like that you shouldn't.
Nobody fucking
cares. They know they shouldn't be doing this. It's crazy. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, why? Like, what?
Oh no, they knew it was wrong.
Yeah,
but the fact that they had a little, Donnybrook, as they were pulling the dudes out, they were the NYPD was pulling the guys out of the tunnel because they said they didn't want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as the rest of those Jewish guys saw handcuffs, they just went crazy. They started crazy to the point where they started throwing their own pews and like breaking their own stuff.
Yeah, I saw they went nuts and started breaking down their own
that's their own temple.
And it's
why
their
would
own
they
temple
destroy their own community?
Like, it's crazy to me. None of it makes any sense. That's what I'm saying. Like, when cults get to a level, like, just there's no more sanity being had. It's just about like following the leader. I don't know. It's crazy. That was like nonsensical.
You know what is nonsensical? That a white high school athlete has finally gotten famous, and it isn't because of how he plays sports. It's because of his name.
Yep.
Who's to blame, guys? All right.
And everybody say it with me before we start. His name is pronounced Kaniga.
No,
Kaniga.
Oh, Kanega.
Kanega. I'm sorry. Kanega. Kanega.
His name is Noah Knigga, and you know what everyone's
Why
like.
would they? Why would they name him Noah on top of it? Like
I don't think that's the problem.
What's the
oh,
proper
it's
first name?
hilarious.
What's the
But
proper first name for a name like that, right?
well, it
Um,
is. If you want to make a good pun, Noah is the perfect first name.
Okay.
Noah.
Now let's just keep in mind this young
Oh my
man.
God, I'll say it. Noah nigga.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
let's just
say.
say this man, let's acknowledge that he plays both football and basketball. And let's acknowledge that I'm
With the
sure
name like that, he should.
the
Okay,
yeah, I'm sure. Let's acknowledge that he's probably the coolest white kid on both teams because of that. And that all the black athletes are fully in support of what's going on right now.
But who's to blame? Why did
His
he
grandparents.
Why did he get famous off this name? Like,
Everyone in his
like,
family who didn't change their name
that's
after
what I'm saying. Everyone in
1970.
his family, every grandparent, as
Yeah.
far back as it goes, that didn't change the name. Like, why? Why didn't they change the
Because
name?
they have to pass on the beautiful heritage of the Kanega family or
in their
whatever.
defense, the A version's a little bit newer. It was a hard R in the past. How were they supposed to know that we'd switch it up to A and then have the internet? Like, because now this kid's famous and
Maybe the last name used to have a hard R and then they switched it to an A to
do you think that's really how it's pronounced, or did they just say that because they know better? They're like, nope, we ain't
either
saying it.
way, like
Well,
If
I'll
your last name
pronounce
is
it.
it, you can't
I'll say
it.
this. I'll say this. First of all, change your name, obviously.
First
Second
of
of
all,
all,
change it.
stop fancying up all these American names, okay? Stephen Colbert. No, it's Colbert. That's your name. Your name is Colbert. You can't just fancy up. My last name is Bomar. It can't be Bomar. You know, like I'm not gonna French it up.
How do you?
I think it's fine to be as obnoxious as you want to be with your own name because nothing is
It's your
real
name.
anyway. So why not?
Hmm.
Yeah, but
Because
all
of this,
up
because
anyway.
of this,
But
because
then,
of this
but then you got to be
specifically.
careful with stuff like this, where like you're taking a word that is like offensive, but you're white as hell, and like you're gonna walk around and say, "No, it's pronounced not like that." See, so I got
Kanega.
that name. Like that's crazy to me. Like just change it. Some grandparent somewhere, somebody should have changed it. I know, I knew a kid growing up who his last name is Cher, like the singer Cher, and I found out like a long time into our friendship that his grandfather had changed it. Their real last name was actually Cherry. And his grandfather changed it because he thought that his sons would get made fun of. And like
It was
right. He thought that it was gonna be too gay to have the last name
But
Cherry.
change
So he
it to
changed it to
Cher?
Cher.
and make it so much worse.
She
So
is
much
the
gayer.
goddess amongst the gays.
So much
Oh my
gayer.
God.
Well,
But I'm
you
just
can't
saying,
blame him.
people
Cher
change
wasn't
their
a
names.
thing.
Like it's
Yeah,
a
but
normal thing. I
Cher
know.
wasn't a thing. You can't blame the grandfather.
Cherry, I don't even see why Cherry's bad. Like,
But I
Yeah,
don't get why Cherry is bad. I think Cher
it's
is.
probably something back in the 40s that was Cherry, oh yeah, you little cherry boy or whatever dumb shit they were
I'm
rocking
just
around
thinking
with.
if we're gonna change names over really stupid stuff like that, I think maybe we should change this ridiculous name because why are we even like where are you gonna tell me that it's pronounced Kanega? Where there's like in all of like I love words, I love the etymology of words, I love all that. Like just an NI like that would not be pronounced nay. That's just not at all. Like there's no you
it could have
can't
been Kaniga.
right. That would make sense. But
They
like
said
it would
Kaniga.
never there's no way somebody wrote that down originally for the first time and
And
told
then
people
pronounced
this
it
is
that
how
way.
it's pronounced. Like there's no way. That's not how words work. It's just not.
I mean, it's enough to make us want to go to war. Am I right? Speaking of
Hmm.
war,
Your transitions are fire.
They are not.
I'm gonna get hired somewhere because of my transitions one day, bitch.
I like
All right.
Thank you, Connie. All
And
right.
you show me.
We are going to war in America. Maybe are we? Who's to blame? Terry, lead us into this.
Well, let's rewind about 3-4 months ago when on this very program I said we're going to get dragged into this because we always do, especially when it comes to Israel, and here we are getting dragged into it again with Iranian backed forces in Yemen.
Is it safe to say you're blaming Israel?
No, I'm not, because I'm blaming who?
Because of Israel. A second, I'm just checking. Go ahead.
No, it's not because of Israel. It's because obviously of Hamas. If they wouldn't have, started shit in October, we wouldn't be here right now. But yes, we're getting dragged into it because Yemen forces are now starting to attack cargo ships, which is disrupting the world economy. So what choice do we have? You know what I mean? You can't let them just go and attack innocent civilian commercial ships and do nothing. We are the world police, unfortunately.
Connie, where are you?
But we're not alone. We're not alone. The UK's with us in this.
Go ahead, Connie. What are you saying?
I think the best documentary on America is a little movie called Team America World Police. Have you ever seen it?
Yes, I know. We've
I think
all
that's
seen
a great little documentary on America, because
you say that.
just get ourselves into shit. Like, what are we doing? Like,
well, you say that until
let me jump in here.
A t-shirt costs $80 because we can't get shipments from the East.
Oh no, a t-shirt? Okay, I have a ton
well,
of t-shirts.
Think about everything else.
Don't we have cotton in the United States? No, the thing that comes
that's
from
why
there,
it'll cost $80.
The thing that comes from there that America is intervening about is going to be the oil for me, guys. It's the oil. And yes, it's causing supply chain disruptions, in oil being one of them. And I don't blame Yemen or Hamas. It's America's fault. Because if you really want to go back, you go back to the creation of the state that's caused this conflict for the last fucking almost century.
Like America created Israel. They didn't.
They were running the UN when it was created. Let's stop.
Running the UN. All right.
I would say America is definitely to blame for everything as far back as you can go. We like to be part of everything. We like to
and then before America
wars and have other people be in war with each other and pretend it's not our fault. Like, we love all of that. We love all of that. We will kill our own presidents. We don't give a fuck. Like, America, like, we're crazy. Like they're all about that. They're all about starting war for whatever. And if there's oil or gas or any natural resources involved that we could use, like, you better believe we're gonna be
steel that we
yeah.
And then
let's take the oil off the table.
You got the capitalist.
Let's take the oil off the table, because America now, for the first time in modern history, is exporting oil.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
But you got the capitalists that are also going to jump on bandwagon for war because they're going to profit from war.
Yes, the military-industrial complex is a real thing, and they make real money.
They will manufacture a war just so they can make money.
Literally.
Yep. Yeah. The first Iraq War, Vietnam, all of these have been proven to be.
I will say this:
yes,
this war ain't manufactured. If it's manufactured, it started back in the 1940s. Okay.
Well, this particular conflict that we're in right now, there's nothing manufactured about it. These cargo ships are getting, attacked pretty much like pirate style.
Why did Yemen do that?
Because they don't agree with what's going on in Israel and Palestine, and they don't like shipping containers coming through there. Essentially, not big fans of it. Yeah. So, and they're provoking attacks. Let's just call it what it is. I know that's not politically correct to say, but they are. They're provoking attacks so they can have the war that they wanted to have forever. That's it.
I'm just gonna say thank God Christopher Columbus tried to go the other way, and no, I don't know why I tried to tie that into this.
No.
Terrible things. Thank God nothing about that man.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just because he went the other way wasn't that the same body of water he was avoiding cutting through to go the other way to India, and then
No, that body of water didn't exist then. He was trying to avoid going around Africa to the south, the Horn of Africa.
Oh, the way people are going now to avoid this conflict.
Yeah, no, we created that canal. As human
Suez
beings,
Canal.
yeah,
Okay.
human beings created that. It's not natural.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And that was after uh Christopher Columbus, 1400s then.
Yes.
All right.
I can't imagine why he'd go there if he had a choice, but
It reminds me a lot of America. They're like always showing their force and just doing the wrong things is Elon Musk.
These transitions, you're killing it.
If America was a person, it'd be Elon Musk.
terrible.
Twitter is bleeding money because of Elon Musk racist comments about DIE, diversity, inclusion, and
Yeah, he
equality.
basically said that black students have lower IQs, so they should have.
Yeah,
we
if they
shouldn't be
went to
forcing them into
HBCU, they have a
universities.
lower IQ,
Yeah.
and that they're diversity hires, and they will crash planes.
And
Oh
let's
my
not
God.
well, no. Let's
He
not
insinuated it.
not be inaccurate. Okay. First of all, he did not say any of this. He supported a tweet that went out.
That's what I saw. That he
he supported a
just
tweet.
posted it and said
Yeah.
He said the actual truth is what he said about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's be accurate.
I mean, if he's calling it the truth, he didn't say it, but it means he agrees with every word of whatever he posted. So
he's South African.
Elon Musk.
So he still has that apartheid
He's South African. Yeah,
blood in his head,
His employees are just it doesn't surprise me that he would think that black people are inferior to him.
Yeah.
So, but
he's
he's
like
on drugs.
One of these people though that is like so rich that like the things he says like that don't actually affect him or his life at all. Like, even the money they're losing, like I don't think this is actually going to affect him in any real way.
Him buying Twitter,
like he doesn't
I
care.
He would have bought it if it was going to bankrupt him, if it, and behave the way he's been behaving. But the thing about it is, you don't care about anyone else who has ownership in whatever it is.
Right. Like the problem with what he said is that it's not him, because he's not like he's just a shitty person, and it's not going to change him. Like whatever happens from this, like what the problem I see with it is like the people that look up to him, the people that'll be like, oh yeah, you know what, he's right, or people that would go to agree with him when they normally wouldn't have maybe even had that thought. Like
he's almost like a Trump character.
The Joe Rogan.
Right, exactly.
The Joe Rogan crowd.
Yeah, because they'll be like, oh yeah, they all like him, right? Because they're like, oh, he's rich, so he's a smart man, and I should listen to him, and red pill. And it's just he got rich off of daddy's money. Yeah, daddy probably got rich off the back of black people. So like
Elon Musk did not get rich off of daddy's money.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't. He started PayPal. That's how he got rich. Yeah. I'm just saying that's
what did
how.
You think it
how
was?
did he start PayPal? How do you start a funding company?
He didn't. He started an online banking system.
How do you start a banking system? You got to have some sort of money to get that.
Be autistic, apparently.
I'm pretty sure
that's
he got
how
rich.
you do
No,
it.
I think she's got what she's trying to say is that he might have started his own whatever, but where is the original? How did he start it? Like where is
he had a small loan from his dad of $1 million, like Mitt Romney.
Exactly. It sounds like a Trump situation, a small loan of $1 million. That's what it sounds like. He started.
Trump didn't get a small loan of $1 million. He got a lot.
I said Mitt Romney. That's what Mitt Romney.
It's just that famous quote that he said.
Yeah.
It's just like, yes, these people might have done stuff and started things on their own, but is it really on your own if you're given money that you didn't have to work for to be able to do it?
I don't know. I'm not going to speak to this because I don't have the information, so I'm not going to assume and then put it out there that
I don't know about
he was given money in the beginning.
I don't know
He
about
definitely started PayPal. I know that for 100%.
But either way, like he's at this point now where he's beyond rich, and anybody who's like a billionaire doesn't become a billionaire without making that money off the backs of others. And
okay.
so that's the problem. He's not doing anything with being a billionaire that's positive.
He made a huge fortune of $180 million when eBay acquired PayPal for 1.5 billion. So when
Elon
he
Musk
so when he sold
Elon Musk
PayPal,
began building his fortune by starting a company called Zip2, which was a programming company that was eventually acquired by Compaq in 1999 for $307 million at the age of 27. That's how he made his first money. And then
he
he
was
started PayPal.
wealthy already. His family, he came from
That's what I'm saying. None of what you just said included if he comes from money or not.
Okay, I'm checking.
That's the problem with these. They act like he made his own money, like anybody can do. No, bitch, he was rich already. He
Right,
came into the world with
exactly.
money. Like,
Okay. Let's see here. Elon Musk did not have a happy childhood. He grew up in a lower middle class family, transitioning to upper class in his mid 20s.
Wow. All right. Look at that. Self-made piece of shit. Look at
There you go. I don't.
that.
what are you
Again,
reading from?
I think it's easier to
Wait,
hate
what are you reading
when
that from?
that is from Forbes magazine.
We gonna
Well,
come back to this because I'm not buying it. I think his
okay.
family was already rich.
Errol Musk, a South African electromechanical engineer.
Why haven't we just called Elon Musk? Somebody just call him up.
Yeah, I know. Just get him on the phone.
Somebody tweet him and say no, because he's gonna act like
I
he built
think
his own wealth when it's bullshit.
Yeah,
Like,
look,
he's
I
literally
first of all, I wouldn't take their money if you gave it to me tomorrow. Okay, because that's not a life that a normal person is going to be happy with. You
right.
think you will, but you're not.
Mhm.
The reason why these men, like I've always said, there's a reason why they're still working. Like if you got $100 billion, that's more money you can spend in 10, 15 lifetimes.
Mhm.
You know, even if you lived lavishly, you're never going to get rid of this money. It's crazy. Because I know, because I did the math on it myself. If I gave you $1 billion and told you had to spend it, you'd have to spend $55,000 every single day without taking a day off every day for 50 years before you'd run out of money. And that's $1 billion. Now, times that times 100. I think these people who get this level of wealthy, they are mentally ill. They have, and I'm not kidding, they have a serious mental illness where, just like with Trump, it's never going to be enough money. There's a hole inside their psyche that they
Right.
cannot fill. And so what's the reason why Elon Musk is still doing stuff? Is he really trying to colonize Mars? I don't think so.
I'm just saying his dad owned an emerald mine in the 80s. I don't know if you don't think that's rich, but I do. You know, like he came
If
from
you
money.
say so.
I knew it was in what do you call those precious stones that he made his money. I was gonna go with diamonds, but he purchased an emerald mine and was married to a supermodel. So if you want to call that middle class, cool. He didn't come from middle class. And that's my problem with him and Joe Rogan
Okay.
and all these types because they try to act like it's so easy to become wealthy as Elon. You just got to be innovative and this and that. Having startup money helps too, you know?
Yeah.
If
So
you say so.
anyway, I do say so. Thank you. Blame Girl has spoken.
Okay. Blame girl is wrong, but okay.
All right, we moving on. We gotta catch up with Connie. Thank you for coming, Connie.
Oh yeah. This was fun. Thank you.
Yeah. So, how have you been, Connie? I she runs a room at Union Beer
Yeah, Union Beer.
in Miami. And she's a comedian. She does comedy all over South Florida and beyond. So we just are doing a catch up. You can catch her old episode on the YouTube. And I mean, I feel like I just want to ask the same questions because
Sure, it's been a couple years. Yeah.
yeah. So just give us a refresher of how you got into comedy.
So how did I get into comedy? I have a theater degree. I've been a theater person my whole life. Since
Okay.
I did my first play when I was 7. So I after I graduated college with the theater degree, I went backpacking for a bit, wanted to do different stuff. I did a couple of plays professionally. And then I kind of stopped. It just wasn't fulfilling me anymore. So I decided to take a couple improv classes just to get back in my body and find fun with it again. And then they did like a stand-up workshop for the first time. And I was like, oh, I'll try stand-up. And literally from the first time I did it, I was like, oh, I love this. This is so
This
much
is my land. Yeah.
Yeah. So ever since that was in 2018.
So you did the stand-up workshop. When did you start hitting open mics?
So I actually at the time worked at Taurus, which is a bar in Miami that notoriously has the longest running open mic in Miami. And
South Florida at this point.
yep. Yeah, it's the longest running open mic that's been nonstop going for over 7 years or something. So I worked there. So I just started having them schedule me on open mic night, which is Thursday nights. And I would just ask if I could go up every single week. And the host at the time, Oriel Rodriguez, an amazing human and comedian, he let me go up and do time every single week during the main show that is before the open mic. He was so good, so kind to me. So that was how I got really, really good. Not really, really good. Just like that's how I got better at comedy and where I was able to practice and like work out bits. And that was
that's
like
important. That's an important part of it, especially somewhere where you can keep going up. It's consistent every week, and because I think that's the first step is you gotta, if you're gonna do it, you got to get past that first hurdle of actually going up, getting through the nerves and all that. Then you got to do it again and again and again and again, and then eventually, you've been doing it, 3 years, and you're like kind of like, okay, I get it.
being consistent with it, I would say is the most important part.
Definitely, definitely. What motivated you? Was it the improv, or was there a comedian that got you into it, or just the improv class kind of pushed you in that
Oh,
direction?
just that they were offering like a workshop for stand up. So it was like a less like intimidating situation than just going to an open mic.
But did
And
you want to do comedy before that? Were you like,
no, I never had wanted to do comedy. I mean, like I grew up watching a lot of stand up and my family was really into it. My sister got really into stand up just watching it, consuming it. And they watched a lot of it. We would go to see comics when they would come to town. Me and my sister, like I always liked comedy, but for some reason never considered it for myself until I saw the workshop. And it there being a workshop for it like opened it in my brain like, oh, I could maybe do that. And I called Polly McPollerson.
yeah,
She is another hilarious comic in our scene down here in Miami. And I do voiceovers as well. That's something I do. And I work with her doing voiceovers. So I called her and I was like, hey, I know you do comedy too. I kind of want to try it. I'm a little nervous. And she was stuck in traffic at the time. And she was like, I'll help you right now. I'll help you write a set right now. And I told her all my concepts for set. And she helped me learn how to like set up a joke and how to like take your like story that was funny that happened to you and turn it into a joke, a way to say it that makes
yeah.
it funny. And so so I would say Paula helped me a lot and made it less scary for me and made me want to really try it. And then the minute I tried it, loved
Have
it.
you done voiceover work? Because I remember
Yeah.
I think we talked to her about it. Have you?
Yeah, we did.
Good. Let's talk after because I've been meaning to do that because I got a big professional setup because I wanted to
Cool.
narrate. I wanted to do the voice for the reading for my book, like an audiobook.
Audiobook, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd love to pick your brain a little bit.
Oh yeah, just if you have all the set, I mean, you could totally do your own audio for that. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll help you. Yeah.
Well, plus people always told me they're like, "Oh, you got a good voice. You should be on radio." And I was like, "Oh, maybe I'm not
What
using
you
an
got to do
asset."
for that is make a reel. What I would recommend here, I can just do for anybody that wants to get into voice acting because I get these questions from people a lot as soon as they find
Good.
out
Go
I do
for
voice
it.
acting. Anybody asks me about this. Make a reel of your voice, and a reel is not an Instagram reel. but
Oh,
like
damn.
I know what you mean. A sizzle reel.
a reel is like, yeah, like an example of your abilities. So just you need to do like a few minutes of all the different voices that you would be able to offer, from like cartoon to regular voice to audiobook to like
Sweet,
every
soothing
different
baritone.
all your different ability to like commercial guy, like anything that you can do that you would are looking to get hired doing, you would showcase in this short like reel of all your abilities. And obviously slating, having your name in it and whatever. And then
I
if you have that on hand, you can send that to people, and you can send that out for any gig that you are looking to get, that you want to work with a dubbing house, or anything you want to do, you have that on hand and you can send it out.
Good to know.
I,
Interesting.
Yeah.
I never thought about that for you until just now. I was like, he does kind of have a good voice, I
And a
guess.
sweet, soothing baritone.
And it'd be better if someone was in control of your words and not you, you know?
Yeah, that actually would. If somebody could just take my voice and face and finger puppet me into a career, that would be great.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, because
All
as
right.
long as I'm
Back
not
to Connie
talking my
though.
own words, I'll be fine.
Back to Connie though. Connie, what is your favorite venue? And you cannot say,
The improvs.
and I would like not like you to say your own room, outside of your room in the improvs. What's
I'll
your
let her say her
Own
own
room.
room.
It's hard to not say my own room, because it has become like, since the last time I was on this podcast, I didn't have my own show yet. And I just celebrated the 2-year anniversary of my room,
Yeah,
and it's
say your room.
fantastic.
Say your own room.
I absolutely love my room. I love what it's grown into. It's such a vibe. It's so chill. It's an outdoor patio space, and like I just
It
like that.
is.
I don't know. There's
I
a
like
lot of
that.
people that when you work with a venue and you get them to let you do a comedy show, it's like you're trying to convince them the whole time that they should keep this going, or that it's important for the community or something. Like, I don't have to fight with this venue in any way. They completely trust me. They love what I do there. The owner texts me at least like once a week, thanking me for what I do and the community that I've created there. Like, when do you hear that ever? Like, it's
No,
just,
and I think that's important is to like when your venue makes you feel like they value you. And it seems
yeah,
like
like
yours does.
I don't hear of anybody else in comedy saying that they have this relationship with their venue. So I'm really appreciative of
Say the name again. Come on. You got
Union Beer Store. Union Beer Store right on
There you go.
Cuyahoga and 8th Street. They're really very incredible.
Do you have a
Repetition is
second?
important.
Do you have a second favorite spot to perform at?
A second favorite spot to perform at, I would say Lincoln's Beard. Lincoln's Beard Brewery is that is also in Miami. It is close to Tropical Park if you need like a
Who's running that space?
That is Raul Colom.
Okay.
And it was, I believe, also Albie Dominguez, but I don't think he's helping run it anymore. I'm not sure. But Raul Colom runs Lincoln's Beard on Thursdays, and it's another like outdoor kind of venue hangout space where there's a very casual feel, and so it's just a very welcoming environment. The crowd seems like happy to have whatever kind of jokes, which is important because you never know what comics are going to say. And it's a chill time. I always, even if I'm not on the lineup at that room, sometimes I'll go just to hang out because it's a good room.
What rooms do you hate? No, I'm just kidding.
Don't make me start talking shit, girl.
All right, Kat, what you got to say? No, I'm just kidding. All right. So where have you traveled? Tell us about your travels as a comedian.
As a comedian, I have done comedy in Dallas, Texas, in
Hell yeah.
Washington, D.C., and in New York City.
Other than New York, those are the weirdest ones I've ever heard. Because normally you think you'd go to like Washington, or you go to New York
LA,
or LA, even
Chicago.
Atlanta or Chicago, and you're like, nope, went to Dallas and DC.
and at least like Austin if you're going to be in Texas.
Yeah, exactly. Austin would have made more sense than Dallas, but
well, no, I feel like right now everybody and their brother, sister, cousin, mother, and uncle is trying to do comedy in Austin.
I know
So
when I go there, I see so many South Florida comics. It feels
it's just
like
a lot. Like
it
even
feels good.
the mics there are crazy, right? Like the open mic lists are out of control. Like they're long. There's tons of comics, and you only get like 3 minutes. It's just like it's too
Yeah,
much.
that's what gets me. But
Well,
there's
that's
some
what it's like in
spaces,
LA. It's the same way in
some
LA.
there's some spaces you can find where there's like longer mics. You just got to step outside of like the downtown area. Like when I
You got to get
started,
away from the big ones that
there was
everybody
like
wants to
one
be on.
space that was right by my mom's house, and they did 10 minutes, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Oh,
We
that's
didn't
pretty
get in a
cool. That's
drive car
good.
for
You can
this. Yeah,
find. I'm just gonna stick with the good old traditional method of being a Miami comedian. Ooh, look at me. And then hitting people up I know in other cities and being like, I'm an exotic Miami comedian. Have me on your show. And then they have me on their shows because I'm visiting and I'm an out of town exotic comedian, as opposed to just
yeah,
trying to hit the mics in any city.
yeah,
Well,
yeah. It's
sometimes
always
that's
better to
easy.
try to get a booking.
Sometimes it's way harder as an out of towner to get on like New York. I had to set up shows way before I went up there because it's hard to get on those mics because there's so many comics up there and they all live there and
Well,
everybody knows them. They got a
you
rep.
have to know people and you have to know when you're going to be going to the city. Like if I know I'm going to go to New York, I
Yeah.
need to know at least a month before I'm going to go and start hitting, like you have to start hitting people up and like using all your contacts like a month before you're going to be anywhere.
I'm gonna write this
Yeah,
down.
that's exactly
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. You got to
Yeah.
set it up ahead of time
You do have to
because
set it up
they
ahead of
don't know
time,
you.
but yeah, but that's my point is like, why just go to New York and try to get on a bunch of mics when I
Oh
could
yeah.
know I'm going to go to New York in a month, hit up all my friends and get booked on shows
Yeah,
before.
exactly. That's what
That's
you have to
obviously
do.
No, we're in complete agreement. Absolutely.
okay.
Now, because I did LA the first time, and it was just that. It was just going to mics, just trying to get on. Which I mean, luckily I did. But then the second time, I was like, no, let me hit up these people that I know. Richie Lala was out there. Richie Lease was out there running shows the second time, so I hit him up. Yeah, but
I
I totally get it. If you're gonna visit,
That's
make a
I
plan.
mean in hindsight, in like theory, like that's the best way to do it, to try to get booked when you're going to a show and or when you're going to a place. But if you can't, I mean, yeah, try to hit a mic, I guess, if you can. But
I think it's fun to hit a mic, but if you're already, if you're in a city, if you're already a comedian in your city and you're getting booked on shows, your face and your name is on flyers, like if as long as you don't have bad relationships with every other comic, you can utilize your relationships. Okay, so you're fucked. But you can utilize the relationships to be like, hey, I'm gonna be in this city. Do you know anybody? Can I get a spot anywhere? And if you can't, you can't, but it's worth a try to
yeah,
get
Just
before you head
yeah,
out.
just to have somebody with
Yeah,
some credibility say, "Oh, they're okay. They're not going to ruin your show.
exactly.
They're
Exactly.
good.
They're not a brand
Yeah,
new open micer that's gonna ruin your show. They do
yeah,
shows down here. They just that they can vouch for you, If
yeah,
you
yeah. No,
can get that before you go, that's better than just trying to hit a mic and hoping you'll get
I got people like that, but they'll always say the same thing. He's kind of an asshole, but he's a good comic. You'll like him. He'll do fine.
true story. All right,
Yeah.
Connie, what's been your favorite or proudest moment that you've had?
in comedy.
Hmm.
In comedy, it's got to be to do with my room, with either the opening of my room or the 1 year or the 2 year anniversary show. Or I did a birthday show my first year
Hmm.
for my birthday where I decided to headline instead of host it like I always do. And that was a really fun experience because I was really obnoxious during that show because I was headlining and I usually host it. I was so obnoxious. I came out like every 2 seconds thinking that I was next. Like it was a bit where I was like thinking that I was supposed to be next because I'm used to hosting, and I had a different outfit on every time I tried to come out and get on the
Oh, that's
stage.
funny.
And then
Nice.
when I finally actually came out and headlined, I changed costumes 3 times during my set. Yeah. I did outfit reveals. I had all 3 on, but I had
That's
outfit
hilarious.
reveals.
I thought you were going to say, and then when I finally came out to do my set, I was totally nude.
Totally naked.
Connie gonna show off her fucking outfits and those earrings and
Yeah, I do be liking my outfits and my earrings. So
yeah,
it's
Friday. I
really
love that gold
fun.
top you had on.
Mm.
All right. So what's been your biggest challenge you feel like as a comedian?
Besides being a woman.
Biggest challenge is writing
Or
new
if it's
jokes.
being a woman, stop talking for women, Terry. Shut up.
I
Not
just
even,
literally ignored him. It's fine.
thank you.
It's good.
So
It's the right thing to do.
I would the hardest part is writing new material all the time. Because it's like so many, like it's a competitive industry. There's so many people, and like I don't know, like everybody's cool, but I just feel this push to like always be coming up with new jokes and writing new material. And especially if you have like a following and people that come out to your shows and will come, like I have fans and people like a following that will come out to things that I do. And then I start to feel like, oh my God, they've heard all my jokes. I got to start writing new stuff. And sometimes like when I get that thought and that pressure of that I need to write new jokes, I writer's block and blank and I can't think of anything funny. So
Yeah, I get that. All right. We want to get to know a little bit about you. Tell us about yourself and any other projects you have. What's so funny, Terry?
Huh?
What's so funny?
Nothing. Go ahead. I'll tell you in a minute.
No, I agree
I don't
that you're
even know.
just like, tell us about yourself. Go.
Yeah, that's the worst question an interview can ask.
Yeah.
You go.
All right. I can give you some. Where are you from? What's your day job? Do you have family? Any other projects?
Well, I am for the first time in my life right now, I don't have a day job.
Ooh,
That's right.
congrats.
Oh, good for you.
Thank you. Yeah. So I no longer have
I
a day
think.
job. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I got fired from my cafe job in September, on September 11th, actually.
Oh wow.
I think
So
that's
it's just the OnlyFans paying the bills. That's it.
no, I'm not brave enough yet to do
Oh, okay.
the OnlyFans, but it's been all just like gig life, like comedy, and I do a lot of like entertainment type of gig work. And I've just been doing all that to pay the bills. So it's been cool getting by on creativity. I literally have been able to pay my bills based on being creative, and that's like a
That's
really,
awesome.
really cool feeling. Yeah, I'm like kind of broke
Yeah.
right now, but and paying my bills. So
Yeah.
that's what's important. Yeah,
But
I do.
being broke
Like
is the good
and you like what
times.
you do to earn the money,
I
right?
do. Yeah. Okay, that's a good. I can tell you about myself. So I do voice acting like we talked about before, which mostly I do dubbing for foreign TV shows and movies. I am the English voice that you hear when you want to put it on over the original voice because you don't understand whatever language it's in. If you don't feel like reading subtitles and you want it dubbed, I'm the voice that you hear. So I do that. I do for monies. I do murder mystery parties, which is like in my top favorite gigs that I do. I absolutely love the murder mystery parties. So I host murder mysteries. I will come to your house for your party, or I will attend your event for your employees, whatever it is, and come turn it into a soiree where someone gets murdered and everyone's a suspect and you have to figure it out. And it's super fun.
Awesome. Yeah.
I also do like corporate team building. So if you know, are having a conference week with your office job and you want to spice it up for them, you hire me to come in and play some team building exercise games with everybody. And those are actually pretty fun because people are actually usually happy to not be having a regular office day when they find out.
And I feel like those probably pay way better than comedy. So
yeah, all those gigs. Murder mysteries pay the best. And then the office building jobs, and then the voiceovers pay really good when you have a lead role because they're all the way that, because what I do is the dubbing. If you get paid by the loop, which is essentially per line. So you get paid, usually the average price is like $1.35 to $1.50 per loop. So you hope to get cast as a character that's like a lead and talks a lot because you get paid based on how much you talk, on how many lines you have. So whenever I have a lead in a show, I'm doing really well monetarily. That's great. But right now it's a slow season for voiceovers. So
okay.
Well, just remember the broke times are the good times, because when you get out, it doesn't feel like it now, but when you get out of it and you're stable and you're this, you kind of feel like it's boring then. Now life is boring where it used to be exciting. It's like, am I going to eat today? Who knows?
I don't know about that, Terry.
It is, I promise. I've been poor and I've
I
been.
feel like I kind of know what you mean, but like
Yeah.
maybe not exactly that. Yeah.
You romanticize it later. That's what I'm going to say.
I think I kind of know what you mean, but at the same
Yeah.
time, like I would love to just be able to order food and not have to check every different account I have and see if I have enough and then decide I need to make a tuna sandwich instead.
I feel you, but just wait. Just wait.
Yeah. All right, Connie, are you ready to play the blame game?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You are one of the few Miami ladies that are not on OnlyFans. Who's to blame?
Who's to blame for me not being on OnlyFans? My boyfriend and maybe my parents because I was homeschooled and
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, I feel like I don't want them to see my
So
titties.
jealousy and insecurity. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, I think so because I think probably otherwise, why not? Like,
I don't know. If anybody would pay for pictures of my feet, I'd be on there right now.
I know.
I've had somebody offer to pay for pictures of my feet. I don't know why I didn't do it.
Yeah,
You can have my feet.
I hear that pays well.
Yeah, and I always manicure I get a manicure every mani-pedi. I get both every 3 weeks. Sorry. So every 3 weeks I got fresh painted cute little toes. I should be making money off this shit. I don't know what I'm doing.
But see, the only reason they're worth money.
Toes. Those are your boyfriend.
The only reason that they're even worth money is because of insecurity and jealousy. Because look at dudes.
Right.
Every dude feels like me, so the market's flooded. My feet aren't worth anything.
What I got out of this is that you follow some OnlyFans girls. Is that what I got?
No, I don't. No, porn's free.
Every dude feels like me.
But you know, wait, let me get it. There was a man and he was offering men comics, like burly men comics, money for pictures of their feet.
Give me his number. If he wants my feet, he can have them.
Yeah, Daniel Ferrer.
I wear
Daniel Ferrer has
the
a whole joke
I'm giving it
about
away.
How funny. I met a comic from Philadelphia. And I'm really not kidding. This is gonna sound ridiculous as hell, but I follow her still just because it's so funny. She has an OnlyFans specifically for she farts for guys. That's what she does. She records her farts and she'll record video and audio of her farting, and guys pay her money for this.
Very classy.
And then they wanna, if you're in a relationship with them, they will fucking act like you're not supposed to be farting at all. And then they're paying money for some girl.
No, I'm sure there's some freaks out there that love it. And they're like, fart on me tonight, baby. Let's get crazy.
It's a whole business. She I was fascinated. So after a show talking in the parking lot, I was fascinated. So she was like showing me like all the girls that she follows, that she like looks up to as fart influencers. I'm not kidding. And she like wants to like make fart content more like theirs.
The world is on fire. I'm so glad I'm in space because the world is on fire. That's why.
When I got on, I'm on OnlyFans, and I remember when I did my shoot with Abby, she's like, "Is there anything you don't want? You're uncomfortable?" I was like, "No butthole," and she goes, "Okay." She's like, "Some girls are only butthole," and I was like, "That's their hole," and she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, there is something for everybody.
Yep.
I wonder if there's like men's mustaches. Does somebody pay for that?
Probably.
Crazy. All right. Do you have anything you want to promote, Connie? Any shows, upcoming shows, social media, any podcasts that you might be on or doing?
I have some shows coming up. Let's see. I've got 2 shows at the Improv next month. And I've got at the end of this month, I'm gonna be in Comic Wonderland, which is a fun event happening in Brickell, where comics are going to, you get welcomed into an experience, and then comics will perform, and then awards are going to be given out for the night, and it's like an old Hollywood glam vibe. So I'm going to be part of that. A lovely young woman makes it happen all by herself. So shout out to women making things happen. Isabella Prida, she's lovely. She is the founder and creator of Comic Wonderland, and it's originally it's coming to us from Los Angeles. It has been successful in Los Angeles, so now she's going to try it out in Connie on Saturday, January 27th. So that'll be happening in Brickell. And then I've also got the 2 stand-up comedy shows at the Improv next month. I've got Bad Bitch Brunch.
That was fun.
Yes, I did. I was there for Giovanni's. That was very fun. So I will be doing that Saturday, February 17th with Brittany Brave at the Miami Improv. And then that same Monday, 2 days later, I will be back at the Miami Improv on President's Day for Elephants in the Room comedy show. Which is, I think they named it that because all the dudes are larger men.
Okay.
I genuinely think that's why they named it that. Elephants in the Room.
Interesting. Okay. All right. And where can they follow you on social media so they can catch those flyers?
At Connie, Connie, Saurus, like a dinosaur, Saurus.
I love that. I love that. All right. Follow Connie Saurus, and then I guess we're gonna go to Terry Wayne's words for white people now.
Nice.
Terry, what you got for white people this week?
Nothing. I got words for all people this week.
Oh, words for all people this week. Okay.
Yeah, it's not just about the honkies every week. You know,
I'll listen, I guess.
Yeah. This week, the word is health. We're gonna talk about health this week and why you should be thankful for your own. This week, personally, my family had a bit of an incident with my 11-year-old nephew who lives a couple blocks away from me, where he was rushed to Vanderbilt Children's Hospital, where he would spend the night because apparently, I don't know what you know about blood sugar, but it's really important. And a normal person's going to run around 100 for their blood sugar. Anything over 180 is considered high or unusual. And anything over 250, you're usually supposed to go to the hospital. So he was taken to his pediatrician where his blood sugar came back at 629. Yes, which was insane for me to hear.
How's he not dead? That's crazy.
I used to be an EMT, so I knew about blood sugar. I have a glucose meter in my home. So I was like, that's insane. So we got up and rushed down there. And turns out he has type 1 diabetes, which has now kind of turned my family a little bit up. We had to go to some training meetings to learn how to, manage and deal with this. And just last night, I went over there to watch the Dolphin game, which unfortunately they lost. So sorry, South Florida. Out of the playoffs, it's fine.
Come on, we're not used to cold weather. We don't know what to do.
Yeah, it was -10. But anyway, and we were all eating chips and queso and snacks and all this. But he can't because he had already eaten dinner and he'd already taken his insulin. And so we just couldn't do it. And it was a little bit heartbreaking to watch because I know he likes snacks and I know he likes being a part of things. But that's how quickly life can change. That's how quickly life can change for any of us. That's how quickly circumstances, he's doing real well with it. Emotionally, he's a tough kid. He's doing well with it and he's doing well with the changes and learning about it. And he's okay. And it's, but it's just one of those things where you never know. It could just be a random morning and then you get a phone call and life changes by 15 degrees and you just have to adapt. So
he's a little kid. So at least that, it's harder to change your lifestyle when you're grown.
Right. So that's why the word is health, because if you're in good health right now, remember to appreciate it because, again, that dial can change 15 degrees any day of the week. You don't know what's coming. So maybe the more you appreciate your good health now, the easier it will be to make those changes and transitions later, because you'll think back on those the same way we talked about being poor or rich. You'll think back on those times and be like, well, at least I didn't waste it, At least I didn't waste my good health and I appreciated it when I had it. And now I'll take this new chapter of my life and I'll take it in stride because I didn't waste it when I had it.
Totally. Wow.
Everybody, all peoples.
I'm sorry to hear about your nephew. That's
It's okay. It's okay. It's
yeah.
just a simple change in life, and that's the
There's
way
a
we're
lot
dealing
of
with it.
kids that grew up with that, like, and
Yeah. Well,
like,
about 250,000 in America have type
luckily
1.
the technology has just gotten better for them to be able to have an enjoyable life, but it
Yeah,
is,
that's what I was gonna say. I don't even think it's that bad anymore. Like he's
yeah.
young, he found out just now. Like
It was bad before the treatment. Like there was a
he didn't
reason why he
know.
was
Yeah, of
going.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a reason why he was going to the doctor, because he, a lot of changes, very tired all the time, very, out of sorts.
At least now you
So
know what it is though, and you're able to
yeah,
like
and
do the
we're
thing.
managing it, and it's fine. And like I said, we all went to the training class. We all know what to look for, and so it's good. It'll be fine. But again, life can change in an instant.
Aren't you
So,
glad that you're living there and you're there with him, for him to
well,
experience
yeah,
that?
but we've been doing this all year again with my father with his Parkinson's
Yeah.
diagnosis and
Oh, okay. That's what
doing
it
that. So yeah, I'm glad I moved up here. I'm glad we're all together. My other family members move up here. My sister and father and nephews, they live 2 blocks away from me. My in-laws live 20 minutes away. You
Wholesome.
know, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right.
So it's
You got anything you want to, you got
just
anything?
just the book. It's Unclaimed Ashes on Amazon right now. You can buy it. I would appreciate the money.
All right. Um, I got coming up this week. I'm out of town. On Wednesday, I'm gonna be in Newport Richey at Ordnance, and on Saturday, I'm gonna be in Fort Myers at Boot Alive. So join me. All right. All right. Until next week, guys.
Back to space with me.
Nice to hang with you guys. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You can hang around. Hold on.